Hello everybody, welcome back to another market watch. We got with you guys a little bit of a discussion afterwards on gem packs. Before we get into it, do not forget this is not financial advice. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you like these market watch contents. Without further ado, let's get started. Blade back in our gauntlets, cold foils specifically. The non-foils are like pennies, don't worry about those. Cold foils, I do think these have like a nice little place in not only budget equipment, but in general. Like I've seen some players play this in the Illusionist. Of course, we have Stonewall Gauntlet, but that's like $50. And at the end of the day, kind of just blocks two. Blade Beckoner Gauntlets, you can get two out of it pretty well, or you can even get like one and then one out of it. So for a cold foil being super cheap right now, I don't think it's a bad pickup. But if you don't care about cold foils, just get the common, get the non-foil, nice and easy. But definitely a card I think it's worth having in your collection. Looking at Bloodied Oval, I think this is kind of where Blade Beckoner arms could get to. The cold foils are about 16 to 17. Now, this is the only offhand or the only shield that's generic, which is what I think it's costing its price to be so high. This actually used to be way higher. I think I saw this at like $30 at one point, but yeah, right now 16, couple for 17, 18. Only 13 on the market though. So maybe you have one, you got some value from your heavy hitters. And I've been starting to play Florian and Living Legends, so it made me like think about this card since he runs this as offhand. Next up, Starting Point. I don't know if you guys saw, Azeri got like top 4 at a recent Battle Harden, and she was running this card. I remember when I first read this, I was like, this seems kind of like a Snapdragon Scaler. It's like, even though it's just a common piece of equipment, it doesn't block. It can just give go again to any card, which is pretty crazy. All you gotta do is play it or activate an ability in the reaction step. Cold foils are about $1. Like I said, the non-foils are pennies, but if you like the cold foil swag, $1 for Starting Point, not bad at all. Scepter of Pain, kind of on the Florian train that I've been talking about. I picked this up for about like $4, I think. Yeah, it just makes me think of where the Runeblade class could go in the future. And I know Vincent has run this before. I know Florian runs it sometimes. It's kind of cheap, $4 to $5. So if you're a Runeblade fan, you want to pick this up. I don't think it's a bad pickup at all right now. Quick dodge flexors slowly has been going down. I think right now is not the meta for it. Yeah, so I think it's just slowly been decreasing. Let's look at the 1 month graph. Yeah, went from like 80, slowly going down to 65. I think it's a good time to pick it up, even though it's not seeing the most amount of play right now. I do think there's going to be a format where, this card is just insane. And guys, legendaries that are generics, I think it's always good to have in your collection. So if you can find this for a good price, maybe off of someone locally, someone on like the Facebook market seller page for Flesh and Blood, I'll try to pick these up soon. The rainbow foils are pretty good, and then I think the cold foils are still about, yeah, 150, which is honestly not a bad price. They're a little lower than they have been, so 150, not bad. Like I said, right now it's not the time where I've seen a bunch of play, but that's kind of good if you want to buy them. So be on the lookout if you don't have your quick dodge flexors. Might be worth getting it sooner than later. Another generic Band Brace of Determination. It's kind of like quick dodge flexors. Right now it's not really its time. It's barely really even had a time to shine. I think maybe last time was when Prism was like super relevant. But this was like an $8 legendary. Now it's close to like $21. The cold foil version, I think we have it at about 40. So you can get a nice deal on the rainbow foil or the cold foil. Cold foil is like essentially double the price of the rainbow foil. I think it's a great card to have just in your inventory and your literal inventory, not like when you're submitting a deck list. Especially being a generic legendary, these don't, they don't stay on the market cheap forever. So if you don't have yours, I think it's a nice pickup. Grains of Blood spell. I think this is a little overpriced. 21 on the market. They're all basically $100. And I don't see Warriors doing that good. So if you have a Grains of Blood spell, maybe you want to sell it, or it's pretty much this is some blue cheese right here, like a whole $100 bill more or less. Next up, more heavy hitter cards. Pay up. I'm actually really surprised that this started to go up. I've never seen this played on a deck list, but it's about $3 to $4, and then slowly going to 6. This reads: if an offending hero controls gold, this gets overpowered. When this hits a hero, gain a gold they control, and if you don't, deal 1 damage. So it's a nice little niche card, but yeah, if you have some heavy hitters like through your bulk, you might have some. Let's see, another Already Dead from Bright Lights. This is kind of the lowest I've seen it. I've seen this card at like $30. Not many of them sold according to the graph, but there's been an expansion slot from Bright Lights. I think it's one of those cards that when it does spike, it like settles around 30. For all you assassin lovers, if you don't have this card, right now is not a bad time to pick it up, but I wouldn't like jump to get it. It's really not seeing that much play. I would say it's actually seeing less and less play as assassins are being supported with stealth. But if you're someone like me that likes to have all the cards of the class you play, it's not a bad time to pick up Already Dead. Next up, Poison the Well. I know with Crown of Seeds being unbanned, and this being at 6, and Blitz, and Terra running around in Blitz doing crazy things, it's kind of made this card resurge in popularity, or at least as far as I'm aware, that's the only reason why. I don't think Count Your Blessings is doing anything crazy in Closet Constructed. Could also be because of Living Legend, so it could be Living Legend and Blitz affecting this price. It's back to like $12. I also missed the mark on this. I think there were like 7 not too long ago. But yeah, if you have some Poison the Wells, you got some value. I would try to wait for it to calm down again, but like that mentality is what got me not having a playset of this. I only have one. So if there's a lot of CYB in your local meta, maybe it's worth picking it up. Next up, Warmongers. We got a lightly played copy for like 70, and then 80. Yeah, I don't know if we can even talk about this card being reprinted, but it's been kind of cheaper right now than it has been in recent times. I know there was a time where like these were like close to 100, but I don't think many have sold for 100, so I would personally avoid this unless you have like all other staples, all other equipments, and you're just looking to like fill out your generics. But $80 is not too bad of a price. Still a little expensive, but I don't think they'll go back down. I mean, I think this card until it gets a reprint, it's gonna be this crazy. Rare Arrow Flame. With all the royal heroes we got, I think people were really hyping this up, but this doesn't even see play. I want to say pick this up before the new Dromai comes, but I can't even. I don't even know if the new Dromai is gonna use this. Like anybody could be like, "Are you dumb?" Of course, the new Dromai is gonna run this. But I think that's how we were kind of thinking of the new Royal Heroes. We were just like, "Of course they're gonna run this. Why would they not run this?" Right now, it's a little bit cheaper than it's ever been, $40. So if you want to pick some up, not a bad time to do so. But like I said, this is not financial advice. Do your own thing. Next up, Command and Conquers. Man, I really thought this reprint was gonna bring everything back down. Kind of did, but not really. The white border is sitting about 75. If you still don't have your Command and Conquers, I would try to pick up a playset. Like, even though they're still pretty pricey, they're really only gonna go up from here. I think if you can get a playset of these for maybe like 65, maybe online or your friends, so you can just have your set. It's not a bad idea for the white border. It's only a little bit of a difference. The regular, I think this is the Arcane Rising non-foils, yeah, about 80, and then it's going back to 90, so I think I would say is get them sooner than later, because once these cards are just gone, we're getting a lot of new players. I think they're just gonna slowly even go up. Like I thought the Haunted CNC was gonna go to 60, but no. This is just holding 85, 85, 90. It's pretty much the same price as the OG, well, the limited version at least. So if you want to get the white border version or any of the other versions, I think it's better to get these sooner than later, just because they're gonna go up, guys. Like as much as people hate this card in the competitive game, like it's just a great card to have. So if you don't have your copies, I think it's a good time to get it. Um, let's say like by the time we're at high seas, Haunted's not really being opened anymore. I could easily see this being like an $100 card. Codex of Frailty, another expensive card that the game has. I have a small hope that this can get reprinted in high seas. I'm almost certain high seas is going to be a ranger class. I could see them doing the same thing. Codex of Frailty, legendary, inside of high seas as a reprint. It's about $100 for the non-foils, and then the foils, wow, there's none in the market. No, there is some in the market. I don't know why the filter didn't show it. About 120, 135. So yeah, this card has been going insane. Yeah, pretty much 120, a little bit less. If you want to wait and risk it for the reprint, definitely do. If you don't want to wait, you kind of need this for your assassin deck or whatever. I know it's kind of a tall ask, but getting the rainbow foils, you'll probably save more value if they do reprint it. Something worth thinking about if you're going to pick up your codexes. Next up, the main topic of the video, gem packs. Are these overpriced? We have a lot of crazy things going on in gem packs, especially because we can't really have official tournament stores like sell these, or none of the LGSs can sell gem pack 1 singles. So it's been making the prices a little crazy and honestly a little fake. Kunai for $115, Obsidian Firebeam for like $112, Azuri for $165, but let's see how many I've sold. A couple I've sold. One sold for $250. Sorry to this person. And then pretty much nothing over 180, so 165 pretty reasonable, I would say. But Azuri's not doing nothing crazy. I would say man, if you really are gonna purchase things from Gem Pack 1, my suggestion is just wait till Gem Pack 2. I think everything in Gem Pack 1 will crash. There's this being given out at all the locals for next month, next 2 months, like until we get the new set, I believe. It's a tough situation because a lot of these cards are kind of just crazily priced. 102 for graphene, 102, excuse me, 108 for graphene. Kunai 115. Let's see how many sold. Yeah, and they've been selling around that price, but look at it coming down to 100. There's only 4 listings, so Obsidian Firebane just as much as the Kunai, but Syndra and Fang are not the same, but the card is just so rare. Look, this started out pretty cheap, and then I guess people realized how rare it was. Went up. Then the left side is just way cheaper. Like, the only way to get the right-sided weapons is through Gem Pack. About $50 for the left kunai. I think the daggers are the same. Graphene, same thing. Like 40 for the left side. The right sides are just so much rarer, so much, honestly, just harder to get. Marco the Black Widow non-foils, about 14. And the thing about Gem Pack, we're only getting these extended art cards in one color, so Rainbow foils 25, going up 28, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they were 40 at the start, slowly going down, which is a nice little deal for a rainbow foil 16. Guys, I want to say don't get them. I want to say wait till we get to Gem Pack 2, and a lot of these cards will crash, but I can't predict the future. So do what you want to do, make your educated guess. It's really hard because Gem Pack 1 is like the first time we have these like tournament packs. It's not like the promos that we used to have in the armory kits. Mark the Prey, about $8, and then rainbow foils for like 12. No, actually, that's completely wrong. $1. And I promise you, this was not $1 not too long ago. 5, 11, 11. So slowly but surely, like, the cards are going down for the most part, as long as they're not the top end cards. From Loyalty, about $7 for the non-foils. I think the rainbow foils are like 15. Nope, 20. Tooth of the Dragon, another great card from Gem Pack, about $6. And then rainbow foils, not that much different, about 8, 9. See, it's Fealty. This is not from Gem Pack, this is from the Hunted. Yeah, crazy high right now, 110 essentially. But the thing is, when we were getting armory kits, let's look at the past two armory kits, Fruits of the Forest, and Count Your Blessings. 26 for a rainbow foil. This is not getting printed ever again unless it's an alternate art, I believe. This is a solid $25 card. So, yeah, well, I'm actually surprised. They've been selling pretty cheap. And right now, they're at 26. So realistically, the last solds were about like 12. But now they're just crazy. 26. Yellows, 15 and then 20. Let's look at the solds real quick. About 12. And blues. This card's banned in Classic Constructed. Wow, 4 sold for 436, pretty good. But $20 plus. All these were all from December's armoring kit. You can't really compare them to Gem Pack, but like these playable promos do increase in price. So, I'm telling you, don't pick up Black Widow, don't pick up like these cards in Gem Pack. I could be completely wrong. Gem Pack 1 could phase out. We have Gem Pack 2, and all of them just skyrocket. So do your own type of, discretion. I think it's more likely that they'll go down. But even this, let's look at Fruit of the Forest. The Armory kit came out. They were like around 13, 12. Now they're like hovering around 6. Blue is the most playable one too. Yellows are about $5. Reds about $4. Yeah, and the difference of like having 3 colors in the armory kits kind of also took an effect on the prices. We have Count Your Blessings and Fruit of the Forest, but then we have cards like Fluttering Charge, which I personally thought this was gonna spike, but it's like less than $1. Goes to $1, $2. I think a lot of the Gem Pack cards will turn into something like this price range, where they're just super cheap and readily available. And yeah, probably like 5 years down the line, like all these promo cards will just go up in value because they're rare and they look awesome as extended arts. But I do think for the most part, the gem cards will go like this. Even the blue ones, since we're only getting one color, this is kind of like going to be the last EA of these colors that we don't really play, so to speak. This surprised me. The blue one's worth more. Maybe it's just rare. There's 39 listings, but yeah, $3. But this card doesn't even see play, so there is like a collector's market for these promos. Red static, electrostatic discharge, about $2. This is the other end of like the gem packs. Like maybe the really playable cards will just rise up, and the little niche or less cards will go to like $1. Whereas, and I'm basically thinking most of the gem pack cards are overpriced right now, but they do look amazing. Same thing, another electrostatic discharge with blue, pretty close to the red one. So yeah, when you're buying your gem pack cards, when you're trading, just think about it like, do I really want this right now? Do I want to wait till like, so many of them have opened? Maybe everything will be cheaper. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend buying any gem pack cards on TCG Player just yet. Maybe trading at your LGS. Everybody opens a gem pack at your LGS an Armory Day. Maybe trying to get like a playset from somebody if you really want those EA cards. But if you can be patient, I think they'll go down. I think gem pack cards will just go down once we get to gem pack 2. Could be 100% wrong. Gem pack 2 could come out and all the gem pack 1 cards go crazy since they're not going to be printed anymore. Make your own decision, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this type of content, subscribe, hit that like button below, and let me know in the comment section, do you think gem pack cards are overhyped right now? Or do you think they're actually underappreciated? Thank you all so much for watching. Peace.